Hello everybody and welcome to the first 2 Onslaught players tier list. To start us off short, we are going to be ranking every champion's passive from S to Sim tier. So not a lot of characters in the game have a passive. In fact, I think it's only 14 of them have like a legit passive. We have 16 here with Lex and Grover. I mean, their air quotes passives are technically tied to abilities, but we're going to overlook that. Just, you exist, you gain benefit. That's really what a passive is. You don't have to do anything for it, you just gain benefits passively. Yeah. So, I believe every passive in the game actually is officially named. Starting us off is Androxus with his little drift, aka Mercy Hover, Angelic Descent. So what do you think about this one, Alex?
I'd say put it in Sin tier because it reminds me of Overwatch. And I fucking hate Overwatch.
Okay. I do want to put it low. Just because you're like very
Also, fuck Androxus.
You're very often a stationary target. Just like floating around there like, hey, shoot my big head. I'm literally wearing a target on my face. Let me move a little slower so your Kinessa can line up the shot.
Yeah,
I mean, we can move things afterwards, but I think for now I'm gonna put it at C. What do you think?
Why wouldn't you want to shoot him in his big fucking ugly ass head?
I mean, yeah, why
Like
wouldn't you?
he looks like he was designed by an infant.
Dang, Alex, we're ranking passives, not design. We're gonna get to that. Alex is about to be going off on all these champions, y'all. Also, I forgot to mention, instead of grabbing the standard champion portrait, I took pictures from my own thumbnails because that's way more interesting to look at. Like, we can all agree with that. So next up, Azan. I think this is easy. Oh, yeah. I guess we should rank based on the PTS, right?
I don't even know what Azan does in passives.
Okay, so I still want to put this at S, even though it's getting nerfed next patch. So Azan passive is you have your ire bar, and by either dealing damage or taking damage, the bar fills up. The more it fills up, the more damage reduction you get, as well as augmenting other abilities when they're used above 85% ire. So just by standing there and getting shot, you can get 15% damage reduction, which is pretty good for free, or by hitting shots, or both. And on top of that, I believe the lift ability, the Reckoning, if you use it at the threshold, the cooldown's reduced by 3 seconds. The F, the Conviction, where you can kidnap somebody, that moves a lot faster, and I think the stun might be longer, could be wrong on that one. And when you use the walls, they have more health. I mean, it's just, you do nothing. You play the game normally, and you get so many benefits. I think it's S tier. So, yeah, we'll leave it there for now. Afterwards, we have Drogoz with, I think his passive's called Booster.
So Farah.
Yeah, Farah. I mean, without that passive, Drogoz would not be Drogoz. Like, he would actually be probably garbage. Just because
he's already garbage anyway. He's garbage because he reminds me of Farah.
Well, dang, Farah. I kind of want to put him at B. Like, B is basically player dependent. If you're garbage with Drogoz, you're gonna not gain benefit of this. If you're a god, obviously higher, but I feel like it goes either way. I mean, it's integral to his kit, yeah, but it's not 15% damage reduction for free. You still get shot out of the sky. And against some opponents, it's actually a hindrance, and you have to stay grounded, so... No, I think B's fine. Can we agree on that?
Sure.
Alright, up next we got Furia with Wrath, because she's so angry. And what Wrath is every time you heal with Kindle Soul, you fill up your Wrath meter, and you could gain upwards of 30% increased attack speed.
Just take a fucking chill pill, dude.
I like the concept of having to heal your allies to gain more attack, And when you are at full wrath, you attack really fast. I think it's like almost 1,000 DPS, and it hits hard coming from Furia. But the thing is, when you have no wrath, you are so vulnerable that honestly, I kind of want to put another B tier. Do we put this above Drogoz or no? Do you think hovering's more important?
No.
You know
really
what? Both have hindrances though. Like a Furia with no wrath can still like tickle people, whereas like a Drogoz against a map with full hit scans can't use his passive, can't do anything. Yeah, I'm putting it above. Okay, so next we got Grover with, in the official Paladins wiki, it's called Passive Heals, which I'm just going to rename that to Blossom after the ability. And this is, you have a little AoE around Grover. I believe it's 80 units by default, but I could be wrong, which is very big. And you and your allies standing in the AoE get healed for 80 health a second. Which is like nothing. It is...
Would it outdamage Sim's Tickle Beam?
Yeah, it does nothing like by itself, but if you want to like think about the numbers, you're technically healing. If your whole team's in the circle, you're healing for 400 health a second just by existing. So, I mean, I kind of want to put this one A, just because it's... Is this more impactful than Furia attack speed buff? I thought these tier lists would be simple. I'm like, okay, I was thinking about this before. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this, there, that, and now I'm like, is this better than a Furia attack speed? Is this an A tier though? I don't.
No.
See, the thing is though, like Grover would be complete garbage if he didn't have this, because his main heal has like a 10-second cooldown, and this supplements heals when that's down. I'm gonna put it high B for now, and we could move it later. So up next we got my main, Imani, with clear cast, and I'm putting this in B, just immediately. You don't even get to say anything, Alex. So what clear cast is when you deal damage, you fill up your mana bar, and when the mana bar is full, your next attack is instant. Or to simplify, when you're in ice, you'll fire 2 frost bolts at once for a burst of 820. And when you're in fire, you will fire the fireball without needing to cast it. Or, if you're already on a fully charged fireball, you'll fire a second one immediately after for a 2000 damage burst. Which is... That's incredibly strong, a 2000 damage burst. But the thing is, the mana in fire builds really slow, but it builds pretty fast in ice. But in ice, it's like 820 damage, it's nothing. Sure, you could catch a few people off guard with that, but it's more valuable in fire, and if you're not running Mana Rift, it generates so slow. But the thing is, very recently Imani's had a bug, the mana freeze, as I've been calling it, where the mana bar freezes and just refuses to generate because reasons. And you really feel it. Like, without this passive, Imani doesn't feel good to play, but I think Grover heals better. Y'all agree with that, Alex?
I don't know.
Is the tree better than the baldy?
It's kind of insulting when you say it like that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with... I think the passive heals is more beneficial than... Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go with that. I think we're going to leave it like that for now. So up next, we got Koga with his energy. This is where instead of using normal cooldowns, Koga has a energy system that's these 3 bars across the middle of his screen. And his agility, his shadow step... Yeah, his agility and his shadow step use up this energy bar. When you swap into Dragon Stance, the energy bar just starts decaying while you're there. And if you use Skewer, you lose all of it. Oh, and he can also wall climb, but that's garbage.
Don't forget he can wall climb. He's Genji with SNGs, but somehow more fun than Genji.
His wall climb's so bad, though. It's so slow. And on top of that, he gets, like, stuck on everything. He's like, oh, I don't want to climb that. Screw it. Guess I'll die. Freaking glitches.
Also, in his fucking third-person model, he's not even climbing. He's running up them.
I think this is honestly the first passive I want to put in sim tier. Because even though there is a talent, and we're not really going to bring talents into the discussion here, I mean, we kind of did with Mana Rift, but there is a talent to mitigate the weakness of, having a limited uptime in Dragon Stance. But the thing is, you're losing health when you do that. And by default, Dragon Stance, the claws, and the SMGs have, I'm pretty sure it's like the same DPS. So why would you ever bother switching to the claws and decaying your energy? And like even then, yes, you could chain 3 abilities together, but you run out. If you're not running Adrenaline Junkie, it takes forever to get this back. I'm putting it in Sim tier. I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of YellowNinja. I'm unsubscribing. How dare you put Koga's energy in Sim tier? But up next we got Lex, which this is technically an ability, but it's such a passive ability. It's not a passive ability, but it's a passive ability in the way that it works. And this is retribution, where you get a marked target, and the main reason he's here is because you can see that target through walls. I mean, I think it's good for isolated targets. Like when you isolate a support, it's like up here. But in most cases, like it'll mark a target that's with their team, in which case you know where they are. It's not that good. I kind of want to put it in C.
In theory, it is. It would be good because it's like a fucking Hitman.
Yeah.
It like turns the game into a Hitman game, as if it was like a team-based first-person shooter rather than a stealth game.
Yeah, you do also get bonus credits for killing your target. I mean, wall hacks is pretty good. It's just the thing is, like, Lex's kit doesn't... I don't know, I feel like he struggles the second he's in a 1v2. Do we put this over in Androxus Glide?
Yeah, because I hate Androxus.
Yeah, at least this doesn't make you vulnerable. It gives you an advantage. Lex, move over. Really? Okay. Is Drogoz hover? Yeah, I think Drogoz hover is better than that. So far, I'm happy we're replacing everything.
Yeah, and don't forget, Lex will tell you to spend your credits before he spends them for you.
Thanks, Lex. Very cool.
On like what? Drip? Some new fucking Tims?
No one escapes the law, pal. Okay, so up next we got Maeve with her appropriately named double jump. And I feel like this is another passive where the character would not feel the same without it. Yeah. Do you remember that talent where it gave her a triple jump? I wish they brought that back.
Yeah. That was a funny talent.
I mean, this allows Maeve to be mobile. You can jump one way, jump another to dodge something. If you're using, what's that ability called? If you're using Prowl, you gain bonus jump height, so you go even further. I kind of want to put this over over Imani's Clearcast. Do you think this is better than the Grover passive heals?
Personally, yeah.
The reason I'm putting this, like, I'm tempted to put it in A just because it affects the whole team. Like, it's something, it's a little bit of a buffer.
Listen, anything that lets me get to claiming my kill percent on whenever I play Maeve is leagues better than a tree.
But the thing is, like, she's a flanker. She should be able to move. Like, that's not really that special, whereas Grover just exists and you get healing.
Yeah, but I like my kill percent.
And you don't need to be in line of sight. I'm gonna leave it there for now. We'll review everything. Okay, so next we got Octavia, who has not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 passives that you get to choose at the start of the game. You
Privileged bitch.
Oh my god. God damn it, Alex. Help me. Okay. Oh my god, I think I'm okay. I was actually, like, choking. I went for a sip of water. It just, like, died. So she has her commander's cooldown, which... First off, her passive is called Commanders, and it gives a benefit to not just her, but her whole team. You have Commander's cooldown, which is 10% cooldown reductions for everybody, and there is no range limit, it's just you click it, it's done. You have Commander's Ultimate, where everybody gets 15% increased ultimate charge, and you have Commander's Credit, where every 5... I don't remember the numbers on this because they changed it a lot, but it's either every 5 or 6 kills your team gets, everybody on the team gets 100 bonus credits. And then there's Commander's Shield, which is garbage. It's everybody spawns with a 575 HP shield, which not that good. But 3 out of 4 being just team-wide for free. You don't even have to be alive. Like, with Grover, you have to be alive to do the passive healing. You could be dead the whole game and still benefit your team with this.
Again, privileged bitch.
I think most of the Paladins community can, like, at least agree that this is probably the best passive in the game. Just, Octavia herself isn't the best character in the game. Far from it, but that passive makes up for her lackluster base kit.
Yeah, if I don't want to play the game, I get to play Octavia.
Yeah, pretty much. Let your teammates play.
I just go to the front line, sit on the point, and die.
So up next we got Ramu with Soul Armor. This is where every 5 weapon shots you hit on an enemy, they drop a soul fragment. And when you pick up the soul fragment, you gain 200 soul armor. Now, soul armor goes over your regular HP. It's treated like normal HP, but it's like a second health bar. And you could gain up to, I think it's 4,000 extra health. And, like, again, with these passives, like, Raum would not be Raum without that. He would be Ruckus without that. And, I mean, you could get him to, like, I think it's 8,000 health by default. Almost 9,000 if you cap out an HP card. You are very vulnerable to percent-based damage, yes, but this passive allows you to be in people's face and just actually, like, take abuse for a really long time. Oh, and also, I forgot to mention, if you're below full health, it'll actually heal you for 200 a pop, so you have built-in self-sustain as well. I definitely want to put it in A tier. Do we think Raum's Soul Armor is better than Grover? It's fucking Grover, man.
It's Grover.
Every time, I'm like, is it better than passive 80 heals a second? And I'm always harping on that. I'm like, this healing's garbage. But when I think about it, I mean, it's a lot of people. You're healing 5 people. 400 health a second. Build your ultimate.
It's fucking Grover.
Whereas Raum... The thing with Raum's Soul Armor, though, is it does get countered by Cauterize. So, like, late game, it's not that good. I do think it's better than Maeve's Double Jump, like, easy. I think we're going to leave it there. Up next, we got Ray, who does not technically have a passive, but she jumps 50% higher. So I'm going to call it Bunny Hop. That's her passive, yeah. I mean, you just jump higher.
Yeah, that's it.
It does allow for cool wall jumps. Like, if an Azan puts a wall up, you can jump over it, where other characters can't. And if you use the Envelop, which gives you a bonus jump height, you can, like, fly, kinda. Some really cool mix-ups, but... I think this is better than Androx's Lift, but not better than Lex Reveal. Right, Alex?
Yeah.
Because this one also slows you down.
Like, yeah, at least you're keeping your momentum when you jump.
Yeah, and you could, like, jump over people's heads, go for the mix-ups. This is another thing that makes Ray really fun. It's a small thing, but...
The little things count.
So, up next we got Saati, no for real, with her passive Tricks of the Trade. Similar to Koga, she doesn't use cooldowns. Instead, she has a pip system. Why someone decided to call them pips when there's already a character named Pip is beyond me, but anyway.
She hunts pips for sport.
Yeah, she steals their souls and turns them into little triangles. Poor things.
Oh, well,
with that big ass head. With that big ass head, you know.
Just don't get a big ass head forehead.
Yeah, you get turned into a triangle. So, anyway, you can chain abilities together like Koga, but unlike Koga, one pip regens every 2.5 seconds, I believe. And 2 abilities use 4 pips. the backflip and the decoy. So you could chain 2 of those together. And the coin uses 2 pips, so you could chain 4 of them together. And I just think Saati's abilities are better than Koga's, so there's that too. Oh, I almost forgot. There's other benefits too. So if you're at 4 pips or higher, Saati attacks, I think it's 10% faster. And if you're below 4 pips, she moves 20% faster. So you're either getting bonus attack speed or bonus move speed, just by either using abilities or not using them. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Do you think it's better than Raum Soul Armor?
Mm,
You know, this doesn't fall off late game.
Yeah.
Is it better than the fucking Grover again?
Yeah.
uh,
Again, it's Grover, and also I think with Grover, his fucking passive heal just gets fucked
yeah,
by not only just cauterize, but also like a lot of
Tickle damage.
AoE.
Yeah, AoE and just like any small damage outdoes it. Alright, controversial take. We're putting it at the top of A. Up next, we got Tyra with her 15% lifesteal.
Wow.
You know what? Is it better than Koga energy, though? I mean, it is 15% lifesteal for free. It's not much. It doesn't really save you, but it's
it is.
It's a tiny bit of a buffer.
It's something compared to literally nothing.
I kind of want to move Androxus down.
Please do.
Because I think this is better than Androxus passive. It's still... Is this
Please
C2?
do. No.
I don't think it's that good. I mean, Cauterize 1 just, like, offsets a lot of this. And, like, Tyra has pretty low weapon damage. The main, like, annoyances from her kit come from, like, talents.
Yeah, like Burn Monster.
Yeah, and fucking Mercy Kill. Is it better than Jumping High, though?
No.
See, this allows for jupes. Tyra's just lifesteal.
You see, Jumping High is fun. Having passive lifesteal is not fun.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna put it below Gray. So, up next we got Vora with Darkness. Great passive name. And what Darkness is you have these 5 dots on your screen. For every primary fire you hit, you gain 1 dot, 1 stack of Darkness. And when you use either your... either your Dark Siphon or the Obliteration abilities...
You get to open the door to darkness.
You will heal for 100 health a second per stack over 1 second. So at 5 stacks, you heal for 500 health over a second just by using an ability. And on top of that, if you're at full stacks, it actually modifies the Obliteration and the Dark Siphon. The Dark Siphon will cripple, which is incredibly strong for a flank to have on a 6-second cooldown. And the Obliteration does more damage, which gives Vora some burst that she desperately needs. I think it's better than Tricks of the Trade. Is it S tier? I mean, that passive honestly is the reason why I love Vora so much. Just because it's built-in self-sustain when, like, the flank characters typically have either no or very low self-sustain.
Yeah, I think she's just honestly one of the best flanks in the game.
And the fact that you get the cripple every 6 seconds, that is incredibly strong.
Yeah.
I don't think it's stronger than Azan existing and getting damage reduction, but...
Nor is it stronger than Octavia existing and you get literally everything.
No. She doesn't have to exist. She can be dead.
Oh, right.
She can be a corpse on the floor. She could be flying off the map and she gets that passive.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think it's fine there. And then last up we got Yagaroth with Armored Carapace. This is, while you're in your planted stance, you gain 30% damage reduction. And in all stances, you are immune to knockbacks. And any basically displacement, something that pulls you in, pushes you back, you're immune to that.
Being immune to CC is pretty good.
Well, it's not CC, it's just knockbacks. You could still get stunned. And in fact, because of this passive, there are certain abilities that like normally would be like displacement that just stun you when they hit you. Like Makoa Hook, they had to put this one specific balance change in for Makoa. Now stuns Yagaroth for 1 second when you hook her.
Just
And-
fucking bonk.
And like Azan, the lift, it stuns her for a second. It's gonna be 30. I said 30%, right? Yeah, it's gonna be 30% next patch, and she has 6,000 health, so that gives her like an extra like 1,800 health, I think. Statistically, I think it's better than Saati Tricks of the Trade, just because you plop yourself on point, you're taking less damage, you can take abuse. But the thing is, the main benefit of this is the damage reduction, and you only get that while you're planted. And in that case, you are just such an easy target. Like, Tyra throws Burn Monster. It doesn't matter that you have damage reduction, it's still going to tick away at your health.
And then you get to, and then the enemy team gets to eat a cooked worm.
Yeah, or it's like ultimates are incoming, and you either have two choices. You stay there and try to tank the damage, or you run, but when you swap forms, you lose the damage reduction. It's just an S tier, though. Because hot take, I do think Vora's Darkness is better than Yagaroth's Armored Carapace.
Yeah, it is, but I don't think Armored Carapace is worth S tier just because there's just so many things in the game that could fucking destroy it.
Yeah, it has, like, again, with a lot of these passives, which, honestly, bravo to the team on that. Yagaroth would not be Yagaroth without this passive.
Mm-hmm.
But in some cases, it does actually hinder you. Because to take advantage of it, you have to stand still, and that's such a huge detriment in a first-person shooter. Bastion.
Yeah. Yeah, she is. She is just a better Bastion, isn't she?
I mean, I don't know. She gets lit up. We have burst damage.
Slightly better Bastion.
I mean, Bastion's also garbage. So.
True.
Alright, so let's review our list. We have Koga Energy at the bottom, the worst passive in the game. We have Androxus Drift. I forgot the name of it. Second up, then we got Tyra Lifesteal at the start of Sim tier. Going into C tier, we have Ray Bunny Hop, Lex Retribution. Then into B tier, we have Drogoz, Booster, Furia Wrath, Imani Clearcast, Maeve Double Jump. Jump into A, we have Raum, Soul Armor, Grover, Blossom, Saati Tricks of the Trade, Yagaroth Armored Carapace, and then in S tier we have Vora Darkness, Azan Ire, and Octavia Commanders. I mean, I think this is good.
Yeah.
We're gonna leave it at that, y'all. Do you agree with our picks? Disagree? Let us know. This is the first of our tier list videos, and how is it that long? I don't know. God, the other videos are gonna be so damn long. I thought this was gonna be short. But our tier lists are gonna be like this, where we're gonna break down each little thing about the champion and just talk in depth about it. Just a little chit-chat. Maybe I'll plop some gameplay in the background, probably not. So, yeah, I should have said this at the start to like, oh, go do your dishes. Put this on in the background. We're leaving. Peace.